Collective, and it's time to give an update. So, a lot's kind of happened in the last 2 weeks, but I have my handy dandy notebook here to help me cover it. So, possible money mistakes. I'm gonna save that for the end because, yeah, I was really upset about it, but it's okay. Okay, so the past 2 weeks, I have stuck to my plan. I've not bought anything, which I know doesn't seem like that big of a deal because it's only 2 weeks, but I have had plenty of opportunities where I felt like I wanted to spend and then didn't. So a little bit of willpower every day. But what I was going to talk about in this video is something that me and my husband are doing together. So that's exciting. Is the Every Dollar budget app. I'm not like a Dave Ramsey connoisseur or anything, but we are attempting budgeting. So at first, we were just writing everything down, tracking on just a notebook. And then my friend told me about the Every Dollar app, which I think I've had like one time just to play around with, but I didn't do anything. But we are attempting to do the zero-based budget. So for 14 days, we have followed our budget, and I'm really proud of us because let me tell you, we are married 10 years in May. We have never budgeted, like legit, never budgeted. Yeah, I mean, it's not something that I had a solid understanding about when we got married. And honestly, in our first years of marriage, because I was 17 and he was 19, we didn't have a lot of money to budget, which that's not an excuse because that's the point of the budget, is to keep you in line. But praise the Lord, all our bills were paid, but sometimes we had $10 left in our account. So probably if we would have been better with our money, we could have, if we budgeted in those first few years, it would have probably brought a lot more understanding to the value of a dollar. But I just didn't know how. And like legit, I would go to Target and I'd want some shoes and they'd be $17 and I'd be like, well, I mean, we have $75 in our account, so I probably can't buy them. So that was kind of our budgeting, is that I just knew that we couldn't buy them because we had not much money. And so yeah, we married really young. And so we've been figuring out life together ever since. But the Every Dollar app, y'all, is good because he can sign in and I can sign in, and we literally put in every single transaction from gas to groceries, and then you put it in your category of your budget for the month. And y'all may be thinking, Kinley, I know how a budget works, but I didn't. So designated spots. So like we have so many days left of the month and I'm told how much my limit is. So I'm trying to get creative with grocery shopping, but we have eaten at home for 14 days, y'all, which is big because at the beginning of our marriage, I mean, we ate so much fast food. I felt very overwhelmed with cooking at home. It was not something that came natural for me, and I wish that I had focused more on that when I got married, but you know, I was trying to get my business running, and I don't know, I've expressed to my husband that I wish that I would have put more priority into homemaking in the early years of our marriage, which this still is the early years of our marriage, and I am doing way better. But I wish I had had like a Titus 2 woman like who took me under her arm and said, hey, Kinley, this is how you cook, this is how, which I mean, people aren't going to give you the help you aren't asking for. And I wasn't necessarily asking for that help. So, but looking back, I wish I had had someone who reminded me how special the home is and how to cultivate a beautiful place for your family to live in. And I feel like once I had children, I really started to hone into that more because we were married 3 years before we had children. So, and I honestly felt just very overwhelmed. But anyway, that's a different story for a different day. But whenever we started putting down the ground rules for budgeting, I was like,
where is this money that I had been spending and blowing all this time? Because I don't see it. I don't see it on the paper.
And I was like, so I'd been spending money basically that we didn't have. Now, obviously we had it somehow, whether maybe I just made extra cash because I do hair. So maybe I just had extra cash that I never put in or didn't account for that I used. So I don't know, it just brings more awareness to what's actually there and what's available to you. So if you do not budget, you should. I'm learning anyway. So, yeah, I really like what I put down is I'm not even sure how much I was spending because I did not account for a lot of it. And I don't feel like I'm a big spender, but definitely with food and drinks, I'd be like, man, I had a hard day today, so I'm getting some coffee, or I'm getting this, or I'm getting that. And so I really put, according to how I was feeling that day, is how I would spend money. So I guess I'm kind of an emotional spender. It was never like really clothing or anything, or house decor. That was very random if I did do that. One cool thing that I did is barter. I bartered something. So we're 14 days in and I bartered. So what happened was I have these sheets that I love, linen sheets, and I had a top sheet, and I don't know how many of you sleep with top sheets, but I don't. All my friends were like, don't get rid of it, it's really good material. So I didn't get rid of it, even though I try to be very minimalistic. I have a client who is a seamstress, and I just said, hey, would you like a haircut for turning my top sheet into pillowcases? So I spent zero money, and I spent my time, and that's okay. So I'm here in a couple weeks, I'll have some pillowcases. So that was pretty exciting because I'm like, I didn't spend any money and I'm still getting something that I really needed. And so anyway, and I didn't feel like it was like a priority or a necessity because it's not. But in that scenario, I was able to make it work. So now we're on to the money mistake. Possible money mistake. I know that it was a money mistake. I not only overdrafted 2 times, but 3. So I'll help you understand. I have a business account and I have a regular account. Well, we don't keep money in my business account because we just shift it all over. Every time I get money in my business account, I just transfer it to my regular account. Well, something would happen and it would overdraft, and I was sick to my stomach because it's just frustrating, you know, like I'm trying not to spend money, but then they charge you for the overdraft. And it wasn't that we didn't have the money available, it was just not in that account. And so, yes, it was probably just irresponsibility on my part of not making sure there was money in the account. But sometimes even when I tried really hard to make sure that there's money in the account, it still happens somehow. And so I have to call the bank soon and see if like there's not enough in that particular account to pull from my other account the remaining instead of charging me, because literally the overdraft fee is like $30. And I'm like, really? I'm trying to stay in budget. I'm trying to do right by my money. And then this is just a simple little slip up that charged me $60. Well, we haven't got the other charge, but $60 just because I didn't have the money moved over. So it just really was hard. But anyway, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna call the bank and I'm gonna get it situated. So if you've ever done that before, you're not alone. It really stinks. But how I'm doing mentally, I really feel like I'm doing pretty good, actually. Like I haven't really been like freaking out yet. I mean, I've been joking with my sister that I am, but I feel like mentally I've done really good. I know it's only 14 days, but it's 14 more days than I've done in a long time. And so I'm just trying to refocus my attention on other things. Like I have projects in the house that I want to do, and things that I want to do with the kids this year, and I want to make hiking and getting outdoors more of a priority this year. And yeah, so that is my 2-week update. I will come back in another couple weeks on my month update. A lot could change in 2 weeks. A lot has happened in these 2 weeks, but I'm learning a lot. And so anyway, if you would do me a huge favor and like and subscribe to my channel to get all the updates of my journey, that would be so awesome. Anyway, have a great day. Bye.